American University in Bulgaria.
Those of you who are in Professor Rondonov's entrepreneurship class have already interacted with him in different capacities, so you know that he's been with us since the morning. Anyway, we're going to shift gears from what he was doing until now, and I will let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about his professional background and what are some of the exciting things that he does. And then we are going to move on to an interactive way of discussing the psychological processes behind the social media revolution development dynamics. Okay, so I ask you to welcome Plamen.
Plamen is enough. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to match faces with names. It's not honest in 1 hour to meet all of you and to start talking person to person, but I hope by involving you as participants in a kind of a limited simulation, limited in time, we to go through experience, through experiential and participatory learning to some observations and reflections where psychology is helpful in terms of marketing utilization of social media. Imagine that we are not now, but in 10 years from now, and there is a new social media called BrainNet, which is a connection between brains, deliberate. When people put something on their heads, their feelings can be projected to through the media to others. And we will simulate this by exchanging information honestly. So what you think, you put on paper. And it's simple. A few words about me. I'm a psychologist, 30 years of professional experience, mostly applied to organizational life. But I still have patients, work with groups who solving problems of people, but most of my time and most of the money I earn are coming from consulting businesses and helping groups to solve problems of their own in organizational settings. Part of the organizations I work are close to advertising agencies which need more creative solutions for their clients. Or some of them are IT software companies which are creating products through social media. For instance, I'm not sure whether you are aware, but approximately 38% is the market, or, okay, this is the delivery size, but most of the online gambling worldwide depends on software developed in Bulgaria. Not only by Bulgarians, some American, Israeli companies are working with Bulgarian software engineers, and they're creating lots of products which are available worldwide in gambling. It's not something to be very proud of, but technically speaking, they rely very much on knowledge we have about how people make decisions. Some things which are truisms in psychology are becoming marketing too nowadays. And I will stop theory for the moment with one brief statement that marketing is psychology after all, but with big groups of people, not with individuals, with big groups of people. So imagine now that we have a special new utopian, although it's not so utopian, social media called BrainNet. It's not existing yet. But devices exist. Probably you've seen spider caps. Spider caps is something you can actually use when you play games, or you control wheelchair. That takes 16 elements of your brain processes, extracts potentials, and by your thought, without any keyboards or any other kinds of controlling devices or mechanisms, you can control the software, its individual programming, which is required, and you can actually move, it's already done, you can move the arm of the space shuttle. Okay, space shuttle is not existing anymore as a program, but you can control robotics from distance with spider cap. So imagine the brain is already ready through this device to be interconnected in a social media world. And you can control simple things like emotions. People feel, for instance, desire to propose something, or they're interested to buy something, or they're just watching to get oriented. So we'll model these three behaviors. One of them is, I want to post something, it's in my mind, it's still not written even on my own PC, but it's in my mind. And I just need to express this to others, that I'm willing to present something which might be of interest to others. The content is not clear, but I have an intention. And that's one of the behaviors you can select. Your brain has it, and it's expressed directly when you put the spider cap. Spider cap because it looks like a spider sitting on top of your head. And the other desire is that you're interested to see proposals of others, and you're willing to take some of them. So you're watching what is posted, and I like it, in Facebook terms. Or you just scroll through the screen and you see that there are many other things, and you just watch. So you have three behaviors to at one moment, in real time, you can do something to post. We're going to use the first letters only. You watch. Just watch. And you purchase, but because it's buy. We can even do it like that. You can look left, and then the software will read that you are posting something. You're thinking about posting something which is of interest to others. You can stay and gaze on what is available, but do nothing. And I will say, let's put this, watching. And you're purchasing something because it's already posted and you like it. You can, okay, this is posted, watched, and you want to have it, you like it, and you're ready to spend money even for this. Why we need that division? To simplify behavior. You can have more complex behavior, but at the first, in this brain net, people are trying to manage one important thing social media can manage. This is management of interdependent behaviors. Some of the users of the network are apparently producers, those who are doing things to present them and to sell them to others. Ideas, products, services, experiences. I want to share my emotional experience from a wedding ceremony. Others are willing to share this by paying or just consuming the product. We need this interdependence manageable, so we are going to use the brain net in a strategic marketing way. Why? Because we need to help people to learn the right behavior, because we need to sell something, after all. Some companies are paying us to market their particular products. So, what is expected from you is to have 12 pieces of paper. These are 12 thoughts which will come to your mind. I'm not going to check exactly what you think, but the brain net will check it through the whiteboard. So each of you can take 12 pieces. The color doesn't have any special meaning. So feel free. You need 12 pieces of paper. Distribute this around, please. Okay, it will come to you. And on each of these pieces, you can select one of these three behaviors. It immediately goes to the network of our new social media. How? Well, if we have the media, it goes through the software. In our case, because we still don't have the software, each of you will put the first letter of his choice. This is your mind choice. Honest choice. Of course, there are certain rules of interdependence which are known to marketers, not to us as participants. We are just users. So you have three options. To post things we are going to see, just to watch, to see what others post and what others do with the postings, and to like or buy postings or ideas which are shared by the first group. So this is your choice matrix. And what we try to do is to see, is it manageable and what can be done from a marketing point of view with the interdependence of participants in a social media called BrainNet. Based on your experience and discussions, because in 12 rounds you'll be able to make a choice. I will collect the pieces of paper and very immediately, practically immediately, you will get a feedback what you gain. For instance, those of you who behave in social media in an appropriate way will experience pleasures or different sorts of benefits. I would call it positive rewards for your behavior. But we don't know which behavior is correct from the beginning. Why? Because it's a free social media. You put your spider cap and you don't know what are the interdependencies. You can learn it if you participate. If you're not participating, you are just watching, and it's not neither reward nor neither punishment. So imagine you are sitting in front of a computer. You have a spider cap on top of your head, and you are expecting three possible outcomes. One is to have positive emotions, pleasure. It could be translated into profits. Or it can be translated in other forms of benefits. But you feel good. On the other opposite, you have another outcome, unpleasant feelings. You're becoming sad, unhappy, angry, negative emotions. In the middle, neutral. Neither happy nor depressed. something like average. So you have 3 inputs you can make to the brain net as a social media, and you can receive 3 types of outcomes: positive and negative and neutral. It's to make the game simpler and controllable as a social experiment. After each choice, I will call them rounds, we will know how many of you made this choice, this choice, this choice. And based on the hidden rules, you don't know them. If you had the rules, we will assign, the network will assign the outcomes. Your task as a group participating in social media is to meet the personal and social goals to increase the number of happy experiences. So you have actually to work for yourself personally and for the society of all participants in such a way, changing round after round your choices, your behavior, to increase the number of pleasures. It's not so easy. Animals are already doing this in biological versions of this brain network with all these kind of devices which are taking impulses from their brains. Mice are capable to learn how to, as individually and collectively, to use the brain network. It's possible in lab conditions to do it with animals. We are doing this in a simulated way with people. Animals are doing it very well. Usually even better than adults. I mean human adults. Why? It's still not explained. Probably because they're more authentic, I mean spontaneous. They do things based on instinct, not based on learned experiences. So not to make it more complicated, do you have some... Aha! This is a special tool. I'll simplify things for you. So, in the list of inputs, you have 3 options. You post something and put this letter P on the piece of paper for your first round. You just watch. You cannot do both of this. Watch is not posting, not buying. And you buy. You like somebody else posting, for instance. That's in terms of inputs. Outcomes, I will call them plus, neutral, and minus. More pluses, better for society and yourself. If you manage to gain 12 pluses in our game, you are qualifying for next level user, which is stopping paying fees for participating. Free participation. But if you get too many, say more than 12 and 12 negative experiences, we send you to rehabilitation, recommend you not to participate because you're not ready for that type of social media utilization. So these are outcomes, and there is a set of rules. If you have the set of rules, you have the God's book. Marketing people know it. There are thousands of rules, and they're not changing during the game. They're fixed like a gravitational law in physics. If you knew them, you have total control. You'll be able to use your and the behavior of others to gain more pluses, to be happy for yourself and even to influence the happiness of others. But you don't know the rules. I will share this with you at the end of the game. Probably you'll discover some of them, or all of them, by the end of this exercise. This is, by the way, your logical task, because it it will lead us through experience to the principles social media marketing can imbue in its future agenda. To organize the interdependent behaviors. Now it's doing it, but it's not so manageable. Through BrainNet, it will go to emotional levels. Imagine sharing your emotions. It's already possible. I will provide feedback after each round, and it's not so difficult to follow. You can also keep your records by yourself, which means that you have to remember your decisions and the consequences of your decisions at the end. So this is round number. Is it okay as a size of letters to be able to follow? So this is going to be your behavior in the BrainNet BN behavior. These are pluses, number of pluses you get. I would say pleasures. And these are negatives, pains. And this is going to be the balance which will allow us to observe also the culture or the maturity of the BrainNet users. If you have a very mature BrainNet users society, people will always behave in such a way that the probability of pleasures is higher than the probability of pain. It's so-called wellness society. And they use social media in wellness society to distribute pleasures by managing the interdependent behaviors of people who post, watch, and buy content. Of course, the balance could be negative. It's so-called repression society, in which the probability of pain is higher due to the behavior of people in the society. Bulgarian society is typical repression. We suffer by what we do to each other, more or less. Nobody else is practically doing this to us. We do it very well to each other by low maturity of our interdependent social behaviors. Social media can reflect this, and we'll probably experience some periods of repression within the social media when the probability of pain is higher than the probability of pleasure. As you see, it's a simplification, just to demonstrate general principles, and you are invited to discuss at any time what are you doing in this social media environment. You can talk to each other all the time about what is happening, what are the consequences, what could be done in the next round. I will just mark time. Every 3 minutes you have to make a choice. And to put it in on this piece of paper, I'll be collecting the pieces of paper. We'll calculate together. Milena will be our notary to make sure that I'm not... there is no fraud and corruption. It's going to be based on a set of rules. It's one piece of paper. Marketing guys who designed the social media called BrainNet has the set of rules and hope that gradually the users, the participants in the media, will learn them and start applying them in a consistent and manageable way. If you have this piece of paper, you have 100% control over outcomes. It's called managed participation. But you don't have any idea what is written here, and we call it chaos. Lack of control. You don't have any idea which input leads to desired outcomes. And that's actually the situation with many participants in social media right now. They don't know what to do to get the desired outcomes. So they learn by experience, by mistakes, probes. Some of them learn, others are just repeating behaviors without knowing the outcomes and the mechanism for managing the interdependent behaviors. So how many are you? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Are you willing to join us?
Be a notary, right?
Okay, you can play and be a notary, or you can be just a notary.
Whatever will be more useful.
Okay, be a notary, not to influence the process. We are going to collect and calculate. Yeah. At the end, I promise to share this set of rules, not to hide it, and we to be in a discussion mode. I repeat this, you can talk to each other, but you cannot force anybody to think something. People are writing like they're writing on their brain. So what is in this on this pieces of paper is what you think really individually. That's what the spider cap takes from your evoked potentials, from the brain. And keep records. What did I play the first time? What are the outcomes for me and the group? I will record, put records here keep records here on the collective result, and we will know the balance of the group of participants which are now on BrainNet. Any questions?
Should it be just one word?
Mm-hmm.
Just one word?
Just one letter. Letter. Yeah, you can select between these three. P, W, B. You post. You just watch what is posted. You buy something. Or like something. Express support, commitment. You like things.
And are the outcomes tied to our inputs? So, for example, if I choose watch, the outcome is going to be neutral all the time? Or do they change?
Well, you don't know the rules. First time you no idea what to do. You just have a new social media. You expect pleasures, but you can get playing.
Zero something?
I don't know. I cannot share anything. You have to discover the rules of the social media. How they work with you to make you do things. Okay? The general hypothesis, the biological hypothesis, is that we want to increase the pleasures and to reduce the pains. Is it true? Okay. Well, in certain cases, sadomasochism creates other interdependencies. Of course, it's a valid one for some groups. But in general case, we expect people and all living beings to be driven towards pleasure for themselves and for the others, if we are healthy. Happiness. That's what we promote. And negative expectation is that we are doing something to ourselves and it leads to pains. How to reduce it? By changing our behavior in a social environment. Media is a setting in which that interdependencies are visible. So try it. The first time, in the first round, you have no idea. No linkages are presented. What kind of behavior will give you pleasure or will bring to pains? Zero management. You have no idea about the framework of interdependencies, but you are interdependent. So, you can talk to each other. In 30 seconds, I will be going around with the question, can you give me your piece of paper with your minds written on them? Okay? You have three choices, three options to make a choice between. One of these three letters. It's up to you, and you may have many theories in mind, but you don't know what is written here. This is in the mind of the marketing company which is organizing the social media. Yeah, and please observe your experiences and ideas. Later we are going to discuss them. You ready? Okay. 1. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Please prepare your choice for the first round. Okay, I'll start from here. Keep records what is your choice, because it's important for your personal balance. Thank you. Okay. Just one. Just one.
No, that's yes.
Okay. You remember what is your choice? On separate piece of paper, please keep your own personal scorecard to make sure that we know. Okay, this is... Okay, we have the first operational... Okay, the brain network is BrainNet is working. And the result of your participation in this new social media is that 6 of you decided to post something. They have ideas, experiences, products, services, and they decided to push through the social media information about this. 10 are just watching. They're not self-disclosing anything, and they're not expressing any opinion about the posted and watched materials. They just watch. And 2 of you are actively purchasing. Apparently, they like some of the content and decided actively to invest in using it. According to the great master plan of the marketers, it's a behavior which has to be, through the brain network, has to be rewarded and organized, managed. Because we have this special device and immediately we can cause pleasant and unpleasant feelings to others based on what they do and based on what we have in our minds. So, 6 of you are posting, and each of you who posted something is getting 1 unit of pleasure. Imagine pleasure your way. These 6, they post it and they are receiving positive outcome. Pleasure, 1 piece of pleasure, 1 unit of pleasure. Those of you who decided just to watch, they have an interesting combination. You know, when you watch lots of content, but it's not yours, so you're trying to observe what others do and post and share, you sometimes have mixed feelings. And that's what marketing system behind the social media called brain network will give you. You get, those of you who just are watching, you get 1 unit of pleasure and 4 units of pain. You can put in your scorecards what happens when you're watching, in this case. And two of you brave customers who decided to purchase something, to like something already posted, are getting 3 units of pain. So let's calculate it. 6 pleasures plus 10 pleasures for watchers. It's in total 16 times we distributed through the social media pleasant feelings and its experience by users. But 10 of them are getting 4 units of pain each, which makes 40, plus 2 are making 3 units per person of pain, which makes 46 unpleasant feelings. Apparently, the balance is negative. 46 pains I experience in this network. Probably some of you are living, but the balance is minus 30. And this is immature network. It's not causing itself wellness. More pain is experienced rather than pleasure. Apparently, marketing guys behind the social media are telling you that you're not doing the right thing in this media. That's why we push for pain, not for pleasure. So you need to change behavior. You can discuss what to do with yourself, with your other members. Nobody will control your communication. So 1 minute for discussion, and I'll be expecting next choice. Apparently this behavior is painful. Okay, ready? You can talk to each other to discuss it. What does it mean? What happens, guys? What is the right way to behave? If you have suggestions, you can convince others. It's even possible to stand up and try to talk to audience.
How much posting brings 1 minute of pleasure?
1 unit of pleasure.
1 unit of pleasure?
Okay. Orgasms are different.
How many pins? How many minutes of pain?
Okay.
Units.
Your unit. Sometimes some people, some guys, some girls are suffering all their lives and it's 1 unit of pain. Others are just suffering 30 minutes and move to the next behavior. Okay, we don't have enough time, so I will press you a bit. Please put your spider cap and make your choice now. Apparently there is some lesson learned from the previous experience and brain network is working. So the result is as follows. 6 of you, probably different people or the same, are posting. But the major shift of behavior is in watching. Just 4 of you decided passively to watch. And 8 of you are using the contents to express some opinion they buy. Apparently this is a shift of your group behavior. And I know why, because it was painful the first round. So let's see what it's fitting the plan of marketing company behind the social media. Those of you who post get 2 units of pleasure. These 6 are getting 2 units of pleasure each, twice more than the first time. Those of you who decided to watch are getting 2 units of pleasure each and 5 units of pain together with them. So keep your balance. Some of you already have lots of pain. And those of you who decided to buy some content in this social media environment are getting 2 units of pain only. So let's do the balance again. 12 pieces, 12 units of pleasure plus 8 units. It's 20. Oh, more pleasure this time compared to the first choice. But you have 4 guys, the watching guys, users of the social media, who get 5 units of pain. It makes 20 plus 16. 20 plus 16 is 36. Still negative. Balance. It's minus 16. It makes the total balance minus 46. This culture is still repression. Why? Of course, your behavior is interdependent. But the effect of this interdependence is still causing more pain rather than pleasure in the society. You're still not a wellness society. It's quite possible in this social media, as I predicted, and it's in the rules, to live without pain. Heaven is possible. But we are somewhere in between heaven and hell. Minus 16 here, plus 30 from the previous, it's accumulated balance. That's actually what you accumulate. Okay, you can talk, you can share hypotheses, you can start leading the group, you can make any comments, and at the same time prepare for the third trial. Okay? Okay? Not very active in communicating and preparing and organizing your behavior. Are you free to communicate and to make decisions? It's freedom of social media. You're totally free to decide what you do with this. Within the limits, of course. Okay, are you ready for the number 3? Okay.
Let's all post one time, see what's going to happen, then let's all watch.
He's the cruel leader.
Okay. Social media are about group dynamics, and at one point leadership is needed. Of course, leaders are not those who know the rules, because they don't know them. But they are brave enough to lead the group in experimentation with behavior. Okay. Okay. This is one of the rules, by the way, of social media. It looks like nobody's leader, but everyone tries to lead the group. Okay, we're collecting. Please prepare your third choice. Third choice, and I just, thank you. I want to remind you that you need to keep a balance to make sure that you have own personal reflection books to know what is the connection between choices you make, your behavior, and outcomes we get within the framework of this network. Okay, there is change of behavior again. Number 3 is 12 of you are actively posting. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm wrong, yeah. 10 of you, sorry, actively posting on social media called BrainNet. 2 of you are just watching. 6 of you are buying something. It's different from the behavior in the second term. To some extent reminds the first choice, but it's different. You see how limited are the watches. Just watches, passive watches. Let's see whether it is coherent with the marketing company plans to make you learn certain way of behavior, for instance, purchasing behavior on the market. Because that's what marketing does. We're trying to teach people in large groups to behave in the right way on the market. Advertising, for instance. But for the first time in history, we have direct access to their brain. So let's see the balance of pleasures and pains. What we have is that each of you who is posting something, this 10, are getting 1 unit of pleasure. 10 of you. Yes. 2 of you who are just watching, you know this distribution rule, are getting 1 piece or 1 unit of pleasure plus 4 units of pain, like in the first round. And those of you who are actively buying, each of you is getting 3 units of pain. Let's do the calculation. 10 by 1 plus 2 are 12 pieces of pleasure, units of pleasure. 8 plus 18 are 26. The balance is still negative. Minus 14, which makes 60. You're still in a repression culture. Apparently, you need a discussion how to change the behavior so to reduce the pain. You're suffering a lot in this social media.
Let's have 8 people posting and 8 people buying, and the rest neutralizing it by watching.
Aha.
I don't think watching is such a good idea. Buying and posting is the best.
So these are early stages of organized consumer behavior.
But see, when we have more,
Yeah, but how can you divide the class in like 2 so that half of the class is going to post and the other?
Just 1 by 1. First one is watch, the next one.
I mean, it should not be equal
Next one
numbers.
is buy,
Should be more people
buy.
posting than more.
Yeah, the majority should be posting than buying.
no, the thing is, when you're posting, you're like putting a product on the market, and when you're buying, you're it's supply and demand.
Can we just all post once?
Yeah, but no, but it's
it's one point which
equalize the
balance.
balance.
It's not equal. Let's post once, and if we get a lot of classes, then we're gonna do it for the rest of the day.
But the thing is, in the ratio of supply and demand, when there are more buyers, it's like more demand.
Okay, you don't know how to do it. You can test it by all like by all posts. It's just all posts. It's just all posts. You don't have all these.
Aha. There is civil society using the social media. There is a web community of consumers. There are associations of posting guys participating in social media. The idea is how we are interdependent and can we figure out which are the rules of pleasure production.
The point is to have pleasure in it.
It's something by nature and rules possible. Nobody to suffer pain. It's a real option. Ready? Okay, we are collecting. Yeah. Usually I ask between around 3 and 4. Are you hating me?
We hate the system.
Okay, you hate the system. That's why marketing guys are not always beloved. Okay, some changes are...
We're growing. In numbers.
Okay, do you see them? 15 of you decided actively to post something. Lots of production. Everyone is typing something and sharing something, hoping for pleasure afterwards. That's what actually we do on Facebook. Narcissism. It doesn't matter what we share. The fact is, it's mine. Okay, I copied this from some wise toads, but I'm sharing. And people will like me, probably. 2 of you are buying something, and the consequences of this new behavior are as follows. Those of you who decided to post actively are earning 1 unit of pleasure. It's so nice, people know about me. And they reward me. Probably like me or do something nice to me. Say, oh, great toads. All my life I expected such a wise man to start posting. Anyway, you have just 1 watching. Just watching. And 2 are buying. The distribution. 15 are getting unit of pleasure. 1 is getting unit of pleasure plus 4 pains. And 2 of you are receiving at the end 3 pains for each of them. The balance, look at the balance. 15 plus 1 are making 16 pleasures. For the first time, you have positive balance. 1 is getting to 4 pains, 2 are getting to 6, it's 10 negative rewards, which makes the balance plus 6. And we are reducing the total balance to 54. It's still a long way to go to break-even point for the group, which means that you are balancing the pains and pleasures. But there is something good. More pleasure than pain for the first time. We may say that your society is getting closer to a culture of wellness. Not total, but relatively, you have more pleasures than pains in the society using the brain net as a social media. People keep their spider caps and expect more pleasures because it happened for the first time in history. Pain is less than pleasure. Think about your number 5 choice. You can talk. Never stop talking because you need yourself.
So far, the most positive, better results.
Okay. You know your personal scores. Some of you are pleasure recipients. Some of you are pain recipients. Yeah. Who has more than 5 units of pleasure experienced so far?
I have exactly.
Oh, let's see the people with orgasms first. So these guys are using the network, the social media called brain network, to gain pleasures for themselves. How many of you have more than 5 pains? Someone with 10? 10? Or reconsider your behavior. Try to renegotiate your interdependence with others. You at risk 12 means that we are going to send you to rehab. To learn how to gain pleasure out of life with others. Okay, well, I'm brave to say this because I know that tomorrow all of you will have rehabilitation based on the special date. Anyway, 5th choice is expected. We don't have time. Okay, can we collect the next one? Any hypotheses, any observations, big reflection, suggestions? Okay, thank you. Okay, the guys in marketing agencies are a bit puzzled, but never mind, we owe you honest feedback and, of course, distribution of some outcomes. 14 of you decided to post. 2 are just watching, which is surprising to me, and 2 are buying content from others. Which means that the rule is, the same rule is applicable. Those who are posting are getting 1 unit of pleasure. Only 1. Only 1. Those who are just watching are getting 1 unit of pleasure plus 4 units of pain. You know these rules already. And those who are just 2 and they're buying somebody's content without posting are getting 3 units of pain.
So you're dealing with the pain and the pleasures haven't changed so far. Doesn't matter what's the distribution between.
Yeah, just numbers.
You always have far more people posting than people buying and
We've been voting 5 times and all the pains are getting 1.
Okay.
Look at the track. There are always like so many more people posting than buying. I mean, it's 2 people can buy the posts of 15
When there
people.
are many people who buy things, there are more pleasure.
All of the watchers should do something. You can't be neutral. And some of the posters should go to buyers.
Okay, now we have 16 units of pleasure accumulated in the network and 14 pains. And the balance is positive. It's more wellness, just 2 units difference.
Okay, so we're at 3, 5.
Let's split in half.
Okay, society is trying to organize its... Please, may I have your attention for a second? Just 3 sentences. As you see, we are very nice marketing guys. We want to make you experience pleasures of life. But you are not behaving the way we expect you. Try to invent another way of action.
Let's go 8 by 10.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you will first 2 rows at 8, right? P everybody. And we have 3 rows at 10. And we're gonna write.
we're 18, right? Yeah, so we all. You post and you buy.
And we buy.
Nice.
No watch.
Posting.
Come on, Drago.
You buy our posting?
We're 9.
Okay, we're just gonna ship
We're 9 and we're 9. It's
Well,
good
then
to
you're
have.
not gonna.
How about next time we just change? Okay?
It doesn't matter who does it. It matters how many people for the overall balance. I don't care how many people.
Yeah.
Some people cares apparently.
Okay, I'm proud of myself. 5 years ago, I formulated so-called general law of consumer defenselessness. If you don't know what posting and production guys think, you never gain as a consumer.
You're buying.
You're
posting.
You're
We're posting. We need 10 people for buying.
We need 9.
Seriously?
Okay, let me repeat a prediction from heaven, which says it's quite possible in this brain network, as a social media, people to communicate, to behave, to be interdependent, to be together in pleasure, without even 1 unit of pain. Heaven and happiness are possible at collective level. Okay. Okay, I'm expecting your 6th choice.
You buy. But we already posted.
Okay. Milena, how we are going with time? We can work with, okay, they lost their caps.
Yeah, well.
Okay. How many pains? How many pains?
10.
Oh, it's very dangerous. Take care. Please take care. Okay. Ready?
You give them one.
Already collected. 10.
Did she leave her choices? Yeah. Okay, so we
Wow.
still have. She left her choice, so there should be 18 still. She did? Did she?
No. I saw her keeping it. Yeah. So we have 1 member less in this network round, and it's 10 posting, 2 watching, 5 buying. And as you see, this is the same distribution, and again, you know the rule, but you're not changing your behavior. And that's 10 of you are getting 1 piece or unit of pleasure, those who are posting. 2 of you are getting 1 unit of pleasure plus 4 pains. And 5 of you, which is strange to me, are making 3 pains to themselves through this behavior, which makes 10 plus 2, 12 pleasures, 8 plus 15, 23, again, negative balance of. So the community goes back to repression.
Can we just try all?
So wellness is reversible. People have inbuilt tendencies to avoid pleasure.
But watch and buying is the same because you have 1 minus 4, it's minus 6.
Nothing changes when the ratio change it does.
Okay.
Try when it does.
You need a.
When we had more buyers than posters, we had less pain in buying. It doesn't matter with the post. Guys, don't think about how many pluses you personally get. I mean, everybody's posting because they get more
for my own pleasure, right?
It's not looking for more pleasure if you have more buyers. You have two pleasures.
Let's try first with everybody posting to see how much pleasure we're going to get.
Oh, nobody watching.
Post. Nobody watches.
This will lose though.
Okay, so two people should post and all the other ones should buy.
Yeah, we're 70 people who post.
No, we're
How many are we?
Now we have less people, but rules are rules.
Everybody should post.
They are not affected by the numbers of participants.
If we don't try it, we're never gonna see what.
Okay, all posting.
Okay, did you learn something about social media? It's encouraging egotistic choices.
Yeah, we see that.
yeah.
We all post.
People are not egoists by nature, but when they become interdependent and they are not safe, they are acting in an egotistical way. That's something economy is built on right now, because security is not equal to interest.
I think it's all peace.
P only.
Yeah. 15.
Oh, 15. Okay, major shift. Okay, 15 are posting. All are productive. Nobody is just consuming or observing, perceiving. And let's see what marketing company decided to do when all participants are posting and nobody is reading and buying. All get 1 unit of pain. Nobody is reading and liking me anymore. I'm just pouring and pouring content in this network. So it's no pleasure today. All are in pain because you decided just to...
So 8 by 7.
Let's do that, guys.
Okay.
We are 8. We are buying. You are posting.
Okay, we are posting.
Buy.
Can you change the behavior?
If we haven't tried it, we never can understand what's going to happen.
Okay. Very fast, we have results. Please keep in mind the experience. It's very important for yourself to take some time today after the experience and to make some, to draw some conclusions. What happened? Why it happens in social media like that?
Watchers, really? Who are watching?
Okay, again we have a strange behavior. 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7.
7.
7, 6, 2.
Стези се повече така ли? 7, 2, 6.
Right.
Okay, there is another change in behavior which requires close attention. More of you are buying, 7 compared to 6 who are posting, 2 again are just watching. Okay, those of you who decided to post in this distribution are getting 2 units of pleasure. 6 by 2 makes 12. 2 of you are also getting, because they're watching, 2 units of pleasure. Yes. And also they get 5 units of pain. 5 per each. Those of you who are just buying are getting 2 pieces 2 units of pain. So it's 6 by 2, 8, 16 pleasures are distributed, 10 plus 14, 24 pains. Unfortunately, it's a negative balance. You're still accumulating repression. Okay, you need a social media revolution, which will show that as a society participating in this network, you can manage your destiny better. This is the way mature social networks operate through the media they have available. You need major shift in behavior. You have experience sufficient enough to reorganize your behavior, and it depends on your readiness to organize yourself. This is actually the purpose of social media, to help people organize their behavior in order to control the outcomes of this behavior. Why? The promise is that we create this social media to help people become positively interdependent, which is measured through the positive outcomes. I know that we are running out of time, but pleasure is pleasure. Okay? Any suggestions how to shift the balance?
Nobody watched.
It's hard.
Nobody should watch.
Let's just make 2 people who are watching buy. Like those 2 people who are watching, if they could buy.
Lots of pain in... Are you ready?
You guys are buying, we are posting.
Yeah. Don't watch.
I'm watching. I see you.
Okay, any lessons learned from the experience so far?
Yes, yes. You always have to post.
Okay, this is...
Besides the fact that if everybody is following you, you have to do something.
No, it's not easy to organize. Oh no, they're regressing, going backwards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 4, 2, 9, 2, 4. Okay, we are back to old formula. More of you are posting than watching and buying. Apparently, egoism is very strong in social media environments. And the risk to get more pain by participating in it is making some of the people more pleasure-seeking, rather than the group pleasure-seeking. So this is the effect we observe in modern social media. It rewards selfish behavior, which is wonderful for those who are willing to create the illusion that they can be happy without making it possible to others. Our culture is a bit repressive. My happiness is possible when others suffer.
That's for the next one.
That's okay. Let's calculate it. 9 of you are getting 1 piece of or unit of pleasure, 2 1 piece of pleasure because they're just watching. It makes 11. The guys who are with watching stand, they get 4 pieces of pain, and here we have 12 pieces because each of the buying are getting 3. So 12 plus 8, 20, still negative, minus 9, we add it, 95. It's almost maximum of pain.
Minus. It's minus.
Oh, minus, sorry. No. No, very unhappy society. People are complaining, they're suffering really. Some who are actively producing and presenting their ideas, pushing in a dominant way them through the network, are happy because they got lots of pleasant feelings. This is in the plan here, but again, the original plan is that we can be happy together.
Guys, let's try to make equal buyers and posters, and no watchers.
Posters should be, yes. But when buyers are more than those who posters bring more points. Previous round, posting was 2 points. Now it's 1 again, as buyers are lesser than posters. We should be just think of a real situation. That's the economy.
What did I say? It's like tourism.
It's not only you. A lot of people said that, but.
Tell me, how many of you are doing in Facebook, for instance, something like liking things which were posted a month ago?
Those who have time.
Those who procrastinate.
No, you need new postings to like. And the typical behavior is not to go backwards and to like things which happened, say, 3 months from the moment. Why? Yeah. Less than 3% of content which is marked liked is 3 months older. Yes. Less than 3% of what people like today is posted 3 months earlier. So we are not retrospectively reviewing contents. It's an interesting phenomenon. You concerned already?
They're going to come into the room in a little bit.
Okay. We can stop immediately if you make the right decision.
Let's do one more.
3 people write post. Who did it already?
I'll do it.
You're posting again?
One posting,
yeah.
one posting. One more posting. Okay, the other 5.
Okay. Can I give you advice for commission of pleasure units? No, I'm not. It's double bind. Thank you. Oh, you made the posting even positive.
With pleasure.
Oh, you gave it. Okay, let's discard this. Set, sold. Pleasure is difficult to. Okay. So far, theory 11 and 4. 4 are posting, 11 are buying, nobody is watching, and this is number 10. Okay, but let's see what marketing set of rules is distributing here. More of you are purchasing, 4 of you are posting, and those of you who are posting are getting 2 units of pleasure. Yes, 11 of you are getting 2 units of pain because they're in the group of purchasing. agents. And that's the score. You can still revise it. 8, 12, 25, minus 14, 9. Moment, 14, 99, 109. Okay, lots of pain in this society.
Last time. Last call.
I have 2 more papers.
Who is served through the social media at the moment? Whose interest is served? This is my critical question, because we are not going to have real discussion time. I just need a question to be answered now. Who is better served in this social media environment?
In this case,
For whom it works?
I'm not happy because there are few posts.
Yeah, how many of you have more than 10 pleasures experienced so far? Or close to 10?
I have 8.
8. 6? Okay, this network works for you. How many of you have more than 6 pains? Oh, you are victims of the social media or exploited by it. And it's possible because it's not easy to achieve manageable interdependence of users, which is the great trick of marketing through social media. You can set rules which say, as in our case, all of us can gain pleasure and to live in a pleasant world. But in fact, because it's not clear how we can do this, and nobody is organizing us, no way to control it, no way to secure it, and it works for those who work for themselves. Individualism and egotistical agendas. That's something we know from experience, our experience, not outside. So you can reorganize social media to become a really social media, which means for the sake of social interest, not for the personal interests of individual members of society. And there is a possibility. Just you need a leader and willingness to follow. Any hypothesis? And to close before the end?
Should be equal players and buyers, and for every, like if it's an
One hypothesis is to make Pareto. The number of buyers to be equal. Okay, I can give you the result in advance. It will be zero-sum game.
So 1 pleasure and 1 thing.
Think about brave decision.
So
Everyone
basically,
buys?
if you work in a union, you're never going to have a positive balance. Everybody's looking for its own interest.
That's the reality of current day.
If we have 1 buyer more, then let's say 7 posters.
One more.
Okay.
If we have 1 poster and another are buying.
Okay. Well, because the 2 trials, I will provide you free advice. Try. There will be no real consequence. Follow my advice. Use the social media, connecting your brains to like each other. Just to like, which means that buy others. Trust them. Look at their content, old content, and show them that you love them. Do not post anything. Do not interfere. Just do one and the same thing like the production existing at the moment, what you have already. And put a B on the piece of paper. I know that you don't trust me. Do you know why? Because the social media conducted your behavior. It's like Professor Pavlov's dog. You already know that just buying is dangerous. You have to be careful, and you have to go to work and produce, because producers are so far rewarded with pleasure. Working too hard to supply content, and you see nobody likes it. So this time we can take a risk. It's on my... But someone defected.
Let's just pretend it's a B.
Oh, no. No way. Someone... Okay, that's bad. Pet 10-11. Толкова ли сме?
13 and 1.
16, yeah.
Yeah, right.
13. Okay, unfortunately, you didn't follow my suggestion. And when most of you are buying just one posting, the posting one is making 2 units of pleasure, of course, and these are making 2 units of pain. You know, when everyone is liking one, it's tough. So unfortunately, you didn't reach the complete happiness. Try in the last attempt. Okay. According to my calculator, many of you are close to 12 pains experienced already, which means these people need therapy. Lots of pain in life. Finally. Okay, so this is the result.
Okay, we have 3, and then these are 11.
11 to 3. Well, the end of the game, victory for repression. Although the marketing plan was to use social network called brain network, which has enormous power to connect human experience, positive and negative. We couldn't reach such a state in which the option, really existing option, is to live in pleasant worlds. It was not achieved because the system was exploited by fear of pain and pleasure seeking by individuals. So we have as a result egotistical rewards. Egoism is rewarded cultural norm through this behavior. And it remains to be discussed. And I ask you, each of you, to consider the results and to draw some conclusions. What happens in social media when the general promise is that people are using it for the social interest, but in fact it leads to rewarding personal or corporate such interests. there is such a rule which says if all of you just express positive regard towards others, which is the B behavior, all of you are getting pleasure. But B was impossible behavior for all of you. All the time, at least one was deciding to play for pleasure of him or herself. And that's the reality we face in social media. They're designed with one generous commitment to help people to gain common positive results. At the end, they're practically serving part of the society, part of the users, and we call this narcissistic incentives. People who are more focused on their self-interest gain more in the current reality of interdependence management mentality. From psychological point of view, without changing the mentality of participation in social media, the game is going to produce lots of pain for participants, disappointment, despair, lack of meaning. Why I'm here? What is the positive out of it? And just few, usually minority, are gaining more and more and conditioning the rest to continue participating and experiencing pain. That's something very critical from analytic point of view. We need something above social media design, which is focusing on participation. We need pro-social orientation into social media participants. Otherwise, we are going to get the same results forever. Trial after trial, it serves the few who are seeking their own self-interest. That's why those who have corporate and individual strong interests are benefiting now more from social media. And I would be happy if we delay a bit brain network. We're still not ready to operate in organized way, in such a way to be happy together. You're not an exception. 80% of the groups who do this exercise are ending up with more pain than pleasure. But better to have simulated pain and to think about real pleasures we can cause each other by interdependently managing our choices. That's the social impact of social media. And it's tremendous as a possibility and responsibility for those who organize this. Marketing guys wrote a rule which is saying, I'll leave a piece of paper, but I need some explanations to distribute. But in fact, you may have great intention that you create a media to serve people, to make their life happier together, and to end up with corporate exploitation of participants for some other purposes. That's the reality right now. It depends on designers not to stay with the good intentions only, but to help people discover ways to self-organize their behavior in a different way, which means that we need the next generation of social media, which is much more educational. And that's my prediction, that people will start moving towards such networks, such social media environments, where they can learn how to be happy with their own, even limited communities, rather than to participate in something which is causing pain and serving few.
Okay. I really want to thank you for this demonstration. I know that we'll be thinking about this and sort of processing the analytical aspects of the experience for quite some time, and I'm sure that I will be referring to this as we're going through different topics and aspects of social media.
You know why mice and children are well with this task? Usually they are achieving positive outcome. Children, yes, say 7 to 10 years old are making positive balances in most of the cases, and animals too. Yes, they test simple hypotheses first for happiness. If they're punished, so the first attempts, what children and mice will do, is first to try, all of us are by, all of us are producing, all of us are just watching, and they see where a simple behavior shared by people can lead to shared outcomes. Okay. We are complex, which means neurotic.
Okay, I want to thank Plamen for doing this demonstration. And as I said, I'm sure we'll be reflecting on this experience quite a bit throughout the rest of the semester. So thank you a lot for that.
Okay. And make sure that you can play with many types of rules. It's just one piece.
This program is brought to you by AUBGTalks. For more, please visit us at aubg.bg/talks.